Happy Valentine's Day. How are you guys? Are you ready for
Are you
today?
ready? Yep. Hope you got lots of secret admirers. All your cards clogging up your letterbox.
Yeah. Oh, you're loving yourself.
Exactly.
Loving up on yourself.
Go and do something for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll start with
Start with a card. Yep.
Excellent.
And then we're going to talk about Valentine's Day itself, the history, and then how we can bring it into the tarot.
Absolutely, of course. All about tarot, right?
Of course, got to be about the tarot.
Let's see. I'm going to do this a little bit different today. I'm going to share the love. Oh, maybe not.
That's
maybe
the one.
Not. That's the one. I was going to do something different, but here you go. We have the Hermit. Funny, Valentine's Day. And here's a card talking about being on your own, right? Contradicted. So he is about very much sharing the lessons that he's learned himself through his own experience. And this particular dude is really intently looking at the light.
He really is.
Which here is a star.
And it's not quite the normal star, is it? It's it's a six-pointed star by the looks of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see that. I'll show you that. So for those who are listening, we are using the Art Nouveau deck. Okay.
So for those listening, I'll take a photo and point out the star so you can see.
Of course. Yep. Trends all over it. See, it's fine either, right? Yeah. So this might be about when we think about the context of Valentine's Day, the need to, what have you learned through your own journey? Like, you know, in so much as relationships and love, what have you learned yourself? Are you ready to put yourself out there? Are you ready to put yourself forward? Are you ready to share? Even if you're in a committed relationship, are you actually really sharing yourself?
Exactly.
So what else do you get?
Or do you actually have to spend time loving yourself?
Yeah.
Yes, you may be in a relationship, but it's more, have you forgotten about yourself?
Yeah.
Have you sort of put other people first, and now it's time to start really putting yourself first?
Absolutely. So this soul reflection, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I very much like that. Yes. Okay. Interesting card to get on Valentine's Day. But anyway, here we go.
Not what we were expecting.
No, not at all. Things have been a bit contradictory lately.
Well, they have been.
Crazy. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history as Tren had indicated. So basically the day had been dedicated for people to express love and to those that are closest to them.
Exactly.
Right? So it can be mums, dads, brothers, sisters, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands, whatever. It's just about expressing that through your heart. Yeah. That's commercially what the day's about, right? Valentine's Day itself was a feast. I'm just looking at my notes here.
Notes.
I do. So Valentine's Day was a feast in the Catholic religion, and it was added to their calendar, the religious calendar, around 500 AD. Interesting, right?
Long time ago.
Long time ago. And the day was commemorated for the martyred saints called Valentine. So it was
That's interesting.
Saints called Valentine,
the saints.
Right? That's where that came from. And the feast day itself, they had it as a feast, it was removed from the Catholic religious calendar in 1969. So it went from 500 AD right through to 1969, and then they got rid of them.
Of course they did.
Of course they did, yeah. So
we can't have these people enjoying themselves.
No, of course not. So little is known about the real history of St. Valentine's Day, but one legend says that St. Valentine refused to convert to paganism and therefore was executed by the Roman Emperor Claudius II on Valentine's Day, February the 14th.
What we know as Valentine's Day, it was February the 14th, in whenever he was executed.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good to get that. I can write that down. Okay. So
a long time ago.
A long time ago. Another legend says that a bishop called St. Valentine of Tren is the namesake of the holiday. So this St. Valentine was also executed on February the 14th.
The church has got a lot to answer for, doesn't
it? They do indeed. But others say, so another thing about Valentine's Day is that others say there was a Roman priest who performed weddings for soldiers that were forbidden to marry because get ready for it. The Roman emperors
Okay.
said, if you're married, you ain't going to be tough enough to be in the war.
To be a warrior.
So, to be a warrior. So he said they couldn't marry, right? So this particular St. Valentine's Day, he wore a ring that had Cupid on it.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Cupid, right, of all things. And that was so that the soldiers could identify him, and he would marry them in secret. So that's what he did. Yeah, and what he did then was he handed out paper hearts, and that was to remind them of their union.
The union.
Not only to each other, but to God, right? So that's what this was about originally, apparently. Yeah.
Legend has it.
Legend has it, yeah. When you think about the hearts that were handed out, that's kind of the precursor to the Hallmark card today, right?
It is.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. Now, there's also a prayer. I didn't know this, a St. Valentine's prayer about how St. Valentine would connect the lovers together, right? So that's what I know, right?
That's quite lovely, actually.
Yeah. And what truly solidified the connection between St. Valentine's Day and romantic love was a poem that was written by an author called Geoffrey Chaucer, I think that is, in 1375. Right, which historians consider the origin of the modern celebration of Valentine's Day, which is where we celebrate the romantic connection of partnership, right?
Yeah.
So that's what that's about. And remember, when this first came about, it was in an era when it was grand love gestures, right? So they give you paintings or write you a poem. It was this big grand
sing
gestures.
a song or something.
Sing a song, absolutely. Caught you from the tower, you know, like that kind of thing. That's what it was about. So by the end of the 15th century, the word Valentine was used to describe a lover in poems, right? Which is where that came from, you know, be my Valentine.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. By the 18th century, there was a book called The Young Man's Valentine Writer, and it was published in England in the 19th century, and that is what saw the mass-produced
That's where it starts.
cards. Yeah, that's where it all starts. Now, in Roman mythology, Cupid, we're going to go back to Cupid for a second.
The priest with his ring.
That's right, the priest with his ring. Cupid was the son of Venus. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty, right? So he was known for shooting his arrows at both gods and humans and causing them to instantly fall in love.
Yes.
So in the tarot, where might Cupid with his bow and arrow be represented?
With his bow and arrow could be Temperance or the star. Which one?
Well, he's Sagittarius.
Well, that's the star, isn't it?
That is. No, Temperance.
No, I was right.
I'm like, what the fuck? Temperance, we're confusing ourselves. So it's represented by Temperance. But Valentine's Day itself falls in the energy of Aquarius, which is where you got
that's
the star
where I got the star from.
So you knew what you were talking about. You knew what you were talking about. So the star and Temperance is involved in Valentine's Day. Go figure that. Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's quite interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? So there's a couple of cards that we're going to talk about just quickly.
And just before you start, Lou, I'm just going to say, every reading today I've done, and this bloody card has come out.
Which is the Three of Swords.
Which is the Three of Swords. And it's like, of all days for this card to come out.
It has to be that, right? Let's just go straight there with that one, right?
Three of Swords.
It can be about the heartache.
Yes.
Right, because we're talking about this in conjunction with St. Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
So it can be the heartache, but can also be the emotional healing.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You've had the heartache.
Yeah.
And now you're healing from that.
Healing from that, of all the days.
Of all the days.
And, you know, like we started contradictory, didn't we?
We did. Very much so.
Oh, wow. There you go. So there's this contradicting energy running through today. Look out. Well, for us it is anyway.
For us it is. I don't know how. I hope you guys are having a better day.
Exactly. So let's talk about love. So we talk about unconditional love and conditional love.
Yeah.
Right. So in the tarot, the unconditional love is going to be represented
by the lovers. And by the way, we're using the Rider-Waite deck here. Rider-Waite Smith deck.
I'm glad you're on top of that.
Yeah. So the lovers card is all about unconditional love and connection.
And connection, deep
connection.
Deep connection. So it's the full-on
Yeah.
commitment, right? So yeah, we're just touching on this briefly.
Yeah,
There's
we're
a
not-
whole lot of
yeah.
other meanings, but we've got a whole lot to get through for Valentine's Day, right?
Exactly.
So of course the conditional love
The conditional
going
is
to be
the
the
devil.
right? And it's conditional because he's chained. He's got them chained and they're restricted in what they can do.
Exactly.
And yeah, conditions being I'll love you
if you do this, I'll love you, or if you love me, you will do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not.
Whereas the lovers is very free and open.
Yeah.
It's a lot more free and open. Now there's another card, I reckon, that can speak to or cause some distress somewhat on when we're talking about love.
Exactly. And it's the 9 of Swords.
Right. Now, yes, it's an air card, but why would that be connected to love?
Well, apart from heartache when we keep ourselves awake because we're hurting, it could also be at the start of relationships when we've got the butterflies. And you know how when we've got butterflies, we don't sleep. We constantly go around and thinking about what the other person is thinking. Exactly.
Are they interested? All of the things.
Are they going to phone me? Are they going to look? Oh, that was in our day. Are they going to text me?
Should I answer this text immediately? Should I wait? Should I what?
What should I say? Should I give an emoji? What?
Oh, shit, right? So, yeah, that's why that card can be involved in this.
Yeah,
interesting. So I thought what we might talk about for Valentine's Day is twin flames and soulmates.
And soulmates. Because, we quite often say, especially in the romantic side, we're looking for our soulmates.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean?
Or I met my twin flame, you know, and all of that. And I hear that and I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, so
like, seriously?
like I'll just explain a little bit about why I think, oh, fuck, when I hear that, right? So the twin flame and the soulmate, very, very similar. Often it's intense. It's almost like an immediate attraction, but it's a recognition. It's like this. It's like I recognize you.
You know, I've known that person. It's like an automatic. I've known you forever.
Type of feel. Now, both of these, soulmate and twin flame, can be karmic, right? It can have a karmic feel to it, or it can be about karma itself. Now, both of them are about growth and healing as well, right? So how do you tell these bloody things apart, right? So let's talk about twin flame firstly. So twin flame is usually about behaviours and triggers.
Now that's interesting. I would not have thought of that. Thought of that.
So it's when the person triggers the fuck out of you all the time, and then you go off and behave in a certain way that may not be the best for you, or may not be the best for them. So it's behavioural issues are brought to the surface in a twin flame, and your triggers, because they're going to poke the fuck out of you.
They do, don't they? And they keep poking until they get that reaction they're looking for.
Until they get that reaction, right? So the connection is really, really strong, and it can be sudden and it can be full on. So it can go from 0 to 100. So these are the kinds of relationships that someone goes, I met my twin flame or whatever they're going to call it. I met my partner, my ideal partner last week, and they moved in next week.
Exactly.
It's like, what the fuck? Like it's that kind of speed that can come, or you feel like, you need to give them space. I'm going to go back to this card for a second. When you're stressing about this kind of thing, and you're ignoring it all, I'm going to contact them anyway.
Exactly. Ignore I'm just going to keep texting it. Or like 2 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep, I'm going to text them.
It's not creepy at all. So it's that kind of energy that comes with it, and yet it doesn't feel like that when you're in it. Not when you're in it, right? So it can help you reveal where your healing needs to occur, right? So it might be about patience. Might be about trusting yourself. Who knows? But it can be. It'll also. There's this codependency that exists. It's kind of like where I can't do anything without you. That kind of feel, which is not healthy.
It's not healthy at all.
At all. You want to be an independent person for as long as you possibly can. Right? Think for yourself, because the more you allow people to do things for you, the smaller your world's going to get, right? And you end up with a very tiny world. So, or limited in certain areas, whatever story you're painting.
Or you've been told.
Or you've been told, you've been told. So it can be very toxic, right? Now, they say that the twin flame, the people in the twin flame relationship are 2 halves of the one soul.
Now that's interesting.
isn't it? Two halves that come together, right? So to make the
To
whole.
make the whole, so they've got to clash and heal.
Absolutely.
To heal.
Absolutely. So, and it's usually because it's the two halves of the one soul that it's usually a romantic connection.
Yeah.
Right. Usually that's what it is, and it is usually about healing the wounds. So you're absolutely right about that. Now they will mirror what our issues, behaviours, and addictions are. So that's what they'll do. What are our habits? These people will typically mirror that. So
really bringing it to the fore to be looked at, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, often karma is involved, life lessons and healing, as we said before. So that these twin flames come together for the purpose of balancing karma.
Oh, balancing karma.
Yeah, right. Because it's like, here's the other half of me. Let's get this job done and clear that karma, right?
So it's quite detailed, isn't it? It's balancing the karma as well as healing, so you don't have to go through it again.
That's correct. Yeah, that's if you choose to do the work, right? So
well, you could just bounce from one toxic relationship to another, couldn't you? If you don't heal.
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct, right? But often the twin flame is like a magnet. There's this magnetism that occurs, and they're like, and that's it. Can't be without each other, which is the codependency piece, right? So have a look at that. So how does this differ from a soulmate?
Because I'm really interested in this.
Yeah, how does this differ
that was not what I was expecting.
No,
not
right?
with a twin flame.
No. So a soulmate is more of an emotional connection, and they're two separate souls, but they're cut from the same cloth, meaning the energy is the same, right? So they have this same energy, which is why they are soulmates. Now, the thing about it is they don't have to be romantic. You can have many soulmates, like a soulmate here.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Tarot soulmate. Right. And you can have soulmates with your kids. You can have soulmates with your partner. You can have soulmates with a colleague at work. It is about that connection, right? You're still going to learn a lot. It's still very much about that. And we can have many soulmates. You can come together for the purpose of life lessons and experiences. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was going to say, so a soulmate can be a short time or a long time.
Absolutely,
it doesn't have to be forever.
That's
correct. Just what you need at that time.
At that time, what do you need at that time? And then the soulmate moves on. So often these relationships, like I'll go to the twin flame for a second, when that is done and dusted, it's usually cathartic, blows up in the air, very dramatic. Right, I'll never fucking talk to you again, like that kind of thing, right? Whereas the soulmate is more about, it's the conversation that's had, and it's like, okay, so we've come to this agreement that we're different, right? Or
the relationship just ends on its own.
Ends on its own, but it's not necessarily all this toxicity. No. It can be until the people heal, but it's not like the twin flame.
No, the twin flame is quite explosive, isn't it? Or it could be quite explosive.
It is. And when the twin flames are pulled apart, for argument's sake, like because they're so magnetized together, because there's this karmic balancing occurring, it is deep, hurtful, like you've never been hurt before. Now, I'm not saying that the soulmate doesn't have that, but there's more growth around it, more maturity.
Exactly.
Maturity is the word. And they tend to give us, when we're in those relationships, confidence boosts. Because they bring out the best in us, right?
And encourage us to be ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, and a soulmate will want to grow with you.
Yes.
So if you're doing things, they'll be interested in that and they'll want to grow with you. If they're not interested in that, then the relationship will automatically at some point go its separate ways. Yeah. So in this, the Lover's card is the deep connection and the commitment.
Yep, so I'm going to show you the Lover's card.
Yeah, using the right away.
Using the right away, yep.
So the Lover's card is that. And see, their body language is open.
It's very
open and ready to receive each other. They're curious about each other, what's going on.
Exactly.
You know, that's how I see the Lover's card in regards to
the soulmate.
To love, soulmate, and Valentine's Day, right? Then we can look at the Two of Cups. Now, this is the new connection. So it's the newer connection, right?
Exactly. It always seems to me it's like this is the beginning of a relationship, and this is when you get the lovers. This is when the relationship has deepened and not secured, but joined. Committed. That's what. That's the word.
Committed. Yeah. So interesting. And
So, yeah, I always think the lovers, the Two of Cups, what I'm trying to say, the Two of Cups grows up to be the lovers.
yeah, there you go. That's a good way to look at that. The Two of Cups grows up to be the lovers, right? Nice, healthy,
Healthy, very healthy.
unconditional, loving
Yeah.
relationship, right? I love
Yeah.
that. Okay. So I thought what we might touch a little bit on here
Mhm.
too, because we can see who's who with the tarot cards here,
Exactly. Yep.
is the love languages. So there's
Yes.
a book written by Gary Chapman, and he talks about the different love languages, and there's 5 different love languages. Well, there's probably more 6, but I'm going to talk about these 5.
Yeah.
So we have acts of service.
And I've just forgotten to get the King of Cups out, so I'm getting everything else out.
That's okay. So yeah, we've got the Knight of Cups though.
Oh, the Knight of Cups.
The Knight of Cups, yeah, you've got that.
So
Yeah.
the Knight of Cups.
So
yeah.
he's the acts of service and commitment.
Yeah.
Right. He will do the things for you. He will put the things out for you. Whereas the Queen of Cups.
Queen of Cups.
She's our words of affirmation.
Mm.
Now she's words of affirmation because she's quite deep.
She's very deep, isn't she?
Very deep, emotionally mature. What's the word I'm looking for? Intelligent.
Intelligent.
Emotionally intelligent. Yeah. So that's what she is. Then we have our gift giver, the King of
Pentacles.
Right?
Yep.
So that is his language, is the gift giving.
Yes.
And then this one might throw you a little bit, but about the physical touch and the lust, is the devil. Right? Because let's face it, who doesn't want fucking hot sex?
Good sex.
Seriously,
Exactly.
good hot sex. So that's what that one is about, and the physical touch. So that's where that comes from. And then the quality time
is the Three of Cups.
3 of Cups, where we're getting
All
together
coming
and we're
together.
celebrating the love. The cups are about the emotion.
Exactly.
So that's very much what that is about. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. So you can see where that love language might come from. So when you're doing a reading and somebody goes, you know, can you tell me a bit about this person?
Yeah.
If one of those cards happen to flip over in that intended question, can you tell me what this person is like? You're going to be able to say what their love languages is.
Yeah, exactly.
No?
That's just another depth that we're going into.
Another depth, just another way to recognise different things about somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's, again, giving more personality to the cards in readings when people are asking about their significant other or what do they think of me.
Yeah,
or, you know.
What do I need to do here?
Exactly.
Yeah, so all of these different guest tips and stuff that we're giving is so that you can get deeper about it as well. So some questions to ask the cards for today.
For today, yes.
Right? So what does my heart want? What does my heart want?
Because it's probably going to be different to what your head wants.
Absolutely be different to what your fucking head wants, And then
head's got no idea.
No, it doesn't. Mind tells us plates and tricks on us. So then there's the question, what does my heart need? So there's the want and the
want and the need, which could be two different things.
Right? Yeah. So there's that question that you can ask. And of course, seeing as we're talking about love and Valentine's Day, how can I love myself deeper? Right? Because we've got to love ourselves first, right?
Before somebody else can love.
You have the relationship with yourself first. And when you have that relationship, then that's the relationship that will be reflected back to you.
Yeah. So love yourself, be kind to yourself,
Absolutely.
be generous to yourself, all the things.
To take yourself on a date, right? What would that look like? What would you do if you took yourself on a date?
If I took myself on a date, I would actually go and sit on the beach.
Would you?
Just sit and it's like smell the ocean. I love the smell of the sea.
Nice.
I don't know. And just feel the sun on my skin and just be present. Feel the sand between my teeth. Not my teeth, my toes.
Between your toes, friend. Beautiful. So you're very sensory.
Yes, I love the smell of things.
Stuff. Right. So being very present, that's really important when you're taking yourself on a date and when you're with someone, even to be present, right? How many fucking people pick up their scrolling on their phone, or they're distracted by TV or something outside rather than what's right in front of them.
Who's right in front of them?
Right in front of them. What are you doing, people?
Exactly.
So very interesting. I think for me,
what would be your perfect date for yourself?
For myself, well, I have to be to do with food. So I would take myself for a really nice meal. I would take myself to watch comedy. I love
Oh,
comedy.
yes.
It's
Yes.
something that would make me absolutely laugh, belly laugh hysterically. I think that's a good way to connect.
Yeah.
And then I would probably go for a stroll
Oh,
under the moonlight.
I was going to say, it has to be at night.
Yes, under the moonlight. That would be what I would love as my perfect date.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, interesting. That's how I would date myself. That's how I would take myself out, and I would do that.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. So let us know what you would do if you were going to date yourself. What does that look like? How would you like to be nourished? Would you pick up some beautiful flowers for yourself? Would you curl up on the lounge with a nice cup of tea? Like, what would you do? How would you date yourself? Like, because that matters. It's important that we love ourselves.
It is.
Yeah.
Would you, like you said, curl up with a good book? Or watch your favourite movie? Or even take yourself to the movies?
Yeah. Well, I'd be taking myself.
Eat all the popcorn. You know you can't share it. You're going to eat it all.
That's funny. Okay, so another question that you can ask yourself is like, how can I, or what do I need to do to open my heart more?
That's interesting, because most of us, without realizing, have closed off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, of course, if we're closed off, how can we attract our perfect person?
That's right. Yeah. Shoulders back, chest out, heart open, and feeling into everything. Some people don't like to feel, right?
Yeah.
It's just this. Do you want love or you don't want love? Do you want healthy love? You want unhealthy love, right? This is the thing.
Yeah.
So, where is my heart right now? Right, where is your heart? Like this, what do you need? What do you want? Where is my heart?
Is it?
Right, where is it? And then we have, this is an interesting question. What is the state of my emotional mind?
That's interesting. That's really, because we can say everything about our heart, but when our head gets involved,
that's right. And our emotional mind, our emotions are often stirred up because of this. Yeah. Right? What we've been telling ourselves, or what we've made something mean. Exactly. How many of you receive a text and put tone in it and make it mean something
that it didn't mean in the first place?
And it didn't fucking mean that anyway. Or you find yourself in a situation where someone might be putting or projecting onto you or showing you their triggers, and you're making that shit mean something. It's not about you, dude. It's about them. Give it back. Give it back. Yeah. So being mindful of how you're feeling in situations and coming, where is my emotional state right now? Yeah. And then we have, what feelings need to be felt?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to feel. Yeah. Or we feel the surface and we don't go deep.
I was going to say, don't feel too deep. Or there's a fear about going too deep.
Yeah, there could be. Now, Tren has this beautiful technique to pull that fear right fucking out of you. This is the tapping technique.
This is the tapping emotional freedom technique, so we can delve deep without.
Yeah.
Release quite a lot.
Absolutely. In no time at all. So, might be something to consider.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got? Right. How do I best express my needs? Right, because our needs need to be met.
That comes back to the love language.
It does comes back to the love language.
So, what is your love language?
Yeah,
because you might not actually know.
You might not know, and I believe there's something online you can go and actually do this free test online. But here's what I've learned about it, right? Not that test, but about the love languages themselves, is how you receive love pretty much might be different to how you express it.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
And given different situations, there might be different things that you need. Now, I have this beautiful, amazing friend, actually. She's a mentor of mine. And when she knew I needed something, right, because I'd experienced a lot of death in the last few years, right, and she would turn up. She turned up one morning, fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, this bitch rolled in, and she had chocolate biscuits for me. She had this little furry heart thing so I could sensory feel that, like, amazing. She covered all the love language. She touching me, making sure I'm all right, all the things. What an incredible friend.
Exactly.
Right? What an amazing friend. And I love her dearly. And like when my brother passed, she rocked up here at night, right? And she's come in and she said, I didn't want to buy flowers because those bloody things die. And she gave me this beautiful, like brightly coloured critter-looking thing that I could cuddle.
Oh, how wonderful! You got your squishy.
Got me squishy. I mean, who does that? People who know you, people who
Exactly.
know your love language.
Exactly.
You know, like amazing friend, right? So
Exactly.
she's a soulmate too,
Yeah.
for that exact reason, and
Exactly.
she demands the best of me.
Yeah.
Like she'd pull that shit out of me. So
yeah. So if you're struggling expressing your needs, maybe find out what your
love language is. Absolutely. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
much like that.
Yeah.
So we have two very quick spreads.
Yep.
Right? And these are just questions that you're going to ask. They're 4 card spreads. So we're going to look at the singles first.
Singles first,
So singles first. Singles. Okay. Question number 1. So you're going to shuffle your deck. You're going to ask this question. You're going to turn the card over and then see what it is. So journal about this.
Yes, very much
journal about this. So the question is for the singles. Where is my heart right now?
Yep.
Shuffle that.
Yep.
Write down what the card is and the question, where is my heart right now?
So you can pause this and go and get your cards and do it.
Absolutely. You can pause this and go and get your cards, right? So the second question is, what's stopping me from finding love?
Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
Right. So where's your heart, and then what's stopping you?
Because we might be wishing and wanting love, but what are we holding back? What are we hiding? What are we not accepting about
Absolutely.
ourselves?
What do we need to accept, right? Great question. Love it. Yeah. So what's stopping me from finding love? And then card number 3. What attributes does my ideal partner bring? Right. Now we just did the love languages for you, right?
That comes up,
so you'll know. So what attributes do they bring? Are they passionate? Are they emotional? What are they?
Exactly. Right? Yeah.
What's going on there? And then card number 4 is, how can I open my heart more? So this is for the singles, right?
This is singles.
All single questions. So, and they're the 4 questions. You can place the cards down in any order you choose, but that's the order of the questions. Right? So because one leads to the other, leads to the other. All right. Yeah. Now, what if you're in a committed relationship? What questions could you have?
We could have, where is my relationship headed?
Ooh,
because
good question.
I can have a certain ideal, but my partner might not. And we need to sort of come together.
Absolutely.
So this card, when we do it again, like lay it out however you want.
Yep.
And then the next question is, what does my relationship need to grow? Or how does my relationship need to grow? Again, lay something else. But again, like journal it.
Journaling.
You don't have to show your partner because this is about you.
Yeah.
But it's giving you more information about something you may not be aware of.
That's right. And once you have worked out how your relationship, or you've received the information about how your relationship can grow,
we can go, how might my relationship benefit? So from what, I've worked out what I need to help it grow, or how can it benefit? What benefits can I gain from it? What benefits can my partner gain from it? I know you're reading for yourself, but you still got to keep your partner in mind.
Yeah, because we're talking about relationships, right? On bloody Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day reading. Yeah.
And the last one is, how can I improve my relationship? So everything you've done, those previous 3 questions, now leading up to what strategies or what themes I can put in to improve it.
Absolutely. Because like when you start doing this kind of work and you're journaling and you're reflecting, all these insights come.
Exactly.
And once you improve yourself to some degree, that's going to be reflected back. Right? It's definitely going to be reflected back, which is why it's important that you, in a relationship, grow together.
And that's the big key, isn't it? Grow together.
Grow together, to stay together. And it might go a little bit, one person goes and the next person catches up, and then it can be like that, as long as there's this growth together.
It's a constant growth.
Constant growth. Who wants to stay the same?
Oh, no.
I can't think of anything worse. Like, how fucking boring.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly. You've got to be new experiences, try new things.
Absolutely. Laughing at each other. I was watching this thing on TikTok about this couple, fucking TikTok, and they saw something where someone had tied one of those great big fucking exercise balls to their back.
Oh,
my God. Doing flips with it and landed on their back, and then they'd land on their feet and they'd doing this twirly thing, right? I never laughed so fucking hard. They tied it to themselves, and both of them like couldn't do
Oh
it.
my God.
Falling on their face, landing on their back. All you heard was "fuck this." Fuck that. So funny, right? But it's trying the new things, right?
Yeah.
And I just laughed and laughed and laughed. They're
Yeah.
such a funny couple.
It's like, I think it's
So-
something simple. I saw two people dressed up as dinosaurs, you know, those blow up dinosaurs
Oh,
in the snow.
yeah, I saw that too. That was so funny. Just having fun,
Fun.
right?
Yeah. But again, you're helping each other up if you have to.
Absolutely. So yeah, so with your relationships, guys, relationship
Yeah.
yourself first, go out and date yourself,
Exactly.
learn your love language, ask yourself these questions on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, being today, and
And
just enjoy
have
yourself.
fun.
Have fun.
Whether
Yeah.
you're in a relationship or not, have
Have fun. That's where the joy is,
Yeah.
right? And the
Yeah.
joy will raise your energy. It will
Exactly.
help you shift
Shift
all of
it.
that shit. So yes,
Yeah.
definitely have fun.
Have fun.
Hope this has been helpful and
Yes.
interesting, entertaining even. Yeah. So you know what you got to do next, right? You got to like, share,
Yeah.
subscribe, all
Or
the
think,
things.
comment, let us know how you're going on today.
Yeah.
What are
and
you doing to love yourself?
What are you doing to love
Yeah.
yourself? I love that question.
Yeah.
What are you doing to love
Yeah.
yourself?
Put yourself first.
Put
About
yourself
bloody time.
About bloody time. Yeah. So yeah, big love,
Yep.
and we'll catch you.
We'll catch you next time. See you later.
Bye.